This episode is brought to you by Bellator's Publishing, bringing stories to the world that last forever. Ren is being really sarcastic and he's like, who cares about the Ajun fate anyway? They've guarded the gate and prevented untold horrors from spilling into this world for centuries. But so what? What untold horrors? What are they protecting? There's also, we find out there are additional Fae warriors within the city gates and they cannot abandon their post. They are guarding something so horrific. I wonder if they are protecting the rest of it. This bit about Fisher is really, really funny because he's like, I already had big plans for my death and this wasn't going to be it. I was going to be like in a soft bed with a good book just finished at my bedside. Like, what? That doesn't sound like Fisher at all. Fisher would want to be like dying in battle. But no, apparently he's a reader. Apparently he likes a good book.
I was wondering as well, like, what Fisher would consider a good book. Like, yeah, after this
one.
I can die.
yeah.
I think this is the proof that Edina is not in the other side, like in paradise or heaven. She's stuck.
She has spoken with his mother, so his mother is definitely dead. I really think that it was Fisher's mum that gave her soul to Finran, and that is why like part of her soul is still wandering around. Our theory that Finran is still alive in Silvarin, potentially Elroy, stacks up. I do think these are all the receipts to show that 1, Kingfisher's mum was the one that gave her soul to Kingfisher's dad. 2, Kingfisher's dad is still alive, and 3, the spirit could be in them.
Hello and welcome to Faithfully Fantasy,
the husband and wife podcast talking all things Quicksilver.
I'm JC.
And I'm Sean.
And today we're finally wrapping up our deep dive into Quicksilver by covering Kingfisher POV chapters. We're finishing the book and this episode, but don't worry, we have one more episode to come where we lock in all our theories for Brimstone. Also, heads up, we might use strong language and explore adult themes.
This episode will contain spoilers from Quicksilver, obviously the Kingfisher POV chapters on Callie Hart's website, and snippets of information we've had from Callie Hart herself.
And before we start, quick reminder, if you want early access to our episodes, bonus content every month, and no annoying ads like this one, you can have all of this by becoming a supporter. You can try it for free now and cancel anytime. For the best deal, visit faithfullyfantasy.com or simply subscribe on Spotify or Apple Podcasts for instant access. Don't miss out and become part of our community.
Also, if you're enjoying the show, please take a second to rate us wherever you're listening. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, all of it. It helps more fantasy lovers find us, and it's one of the easiest ways to support what we do. A quick tap and you've made our day.
And now, without further ado, let's enter the map tent.
A slightly different map tent this week because we're covering multiple chapters from different times. So this week, we meet Kingfisher's wolves, face 5,000 feeders, close the Ajun gate, come face to face with the supposed last dragon. We get the sword from Bal and Mithin, defeat that dragon, and say goodbye to Ren's twin sister. Then we travel forward in time, enter Mummy and Daddy Kingfisher's room, give Carrion some new boots, find a dress for Ceres, and learn more about the fox. In another bout of whiplash, we will find ourselves in the maze. We hang with the Lord of Midnight, Tal, and we witness Fisher meet his mate. We're all over the place this week.
Yes, but it's normal because all of this point of view, they were written in different times as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to be all over the place. But now, let's go to the fine print, the part of the show where we scour the pages for clues of what is to come.
And let's not forget the timing of these chapters. So Callie Hart published them while writing Brimstone. So I think that means there's things in here that we need to know before we can really get into Brimstone. If you picture this, like she's writing Brimstone and then she's thinking, so they need to know this to be able to understand this.
Yeah.
Hence the POVs. That's what I'm thinking anyway. And there is so much.
Okay, let's go to start with the first chapter of this point of view.
The Gate Part 1. So the title review, I mean, there's not a lot to say about the Gate Part 1 and the Gate Part 2. The Gate...
It's the gate.
It's the gate, the Ajun Gate. Although we will learn a little bit about what the Ajun Gate is. So the Ajun Gate is a iron gate that is protecting the people of Ajun and something very secretive inside the Ajun city. So I'm going to describe Ajun. Pale towers rose up from the snowy mountainside, cast in quartz and ivory, glowing like slender ghosts. This is a huge contrast to Sanazroth. So we have the Ajun Sky and the Ajun Gate. The reason I say the Ajun Sky is because that is what it's described as on the map. Mm-hmm. So you've got a contrast between the Ajun Sky and the kind of silver gates and the white towers, which you could say is representative of heaven. Mm-hmm. And then you have the obsidian towers, the black, spiky castle of Sanazroth, which you could say is hell, and it's like charred. So you've got Sanazroth on the south of the map, which we all know that Ceres becomes queen of. Does that mean she is queen of hell at the moment? I also somehow suspect she will become queen of the Ajun Sky as well, and then you will have this weird thing where she's all powerful and she becomes a god. Weird theory, but anyway, so they mentioned the Pale Towers as well, and I wondered if this was related to Lloreth of the two towers. It doesn't specifically say there's two towers. I'm just on the lookout for the towers because I wonder if there's more to learn here where Lloreth did something spectacular with the towers. We also get the names of the 6 wolves. So there's Morel. She is female, and she is Ren's twin sister. We have Coryx. So Coryx is interesting. At the beginning and at the end of the chapter, they are introduced as they/their. But in one particular part of the chapter, it says he. So I don't know. I feel like the he was probably an editing error and that Callie wants them to be referred to as they. So that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the chapter. Foley is male / maybe was male, because he's another one that I'm not sure makes it through this particular battle. Vash Gideon, and they call him Vash for short, he is male. Then we have Lloreth, we have Renthus, and we have Danya. He calls them wolves, and he calls them friends. So again, this kind of builds on the fact that we think there's probably werewolves, or there's something that is going to
shapeshifters,
some kind of blood magic around the fact that they're wolves. So that is Morel, Coryx, Foley, Vash, Lloreth, Renthus, Danya. It's just weird because it says Kingfisher ran his 6 in the Ballad of the Gate, and there's 7 there, but never mind.
Maybe at this time it was 7, and then just after this got reduced to 6.
Yeah, I wonder if Lloreth just doesn't remember one of them. Anyway. So Kingfisher really does seem different here, doesn't he? He's like joking. Even in the face of massive danger, him and Ren are having...
Yes, this is basically the Kingfisher that Ren always were talking at the beginning. That he said, no, this is not Kingfisher. That he's going through some serious stuff. And that's the thing that we still don't know if it's because the rune that he has on the neck or it's something else. Because he was different with everyone, not with just Sarah. It was like completely change of personality. And I think maybe it's because that room he put it himself, or maybe Taladeus helping him, because all the people around just crying that it was his fault that all of them are there because of him when he was in the maze. So maybe he just need to like be cruel, not cruel, but like distant, not feeling anything, so he can focus and find their coin.
Yeah, I like this idea for the that rune on the back of his neck. I do think he put it there, and I do think it does control his emotions. I'm not sure if Tal has any magic. That's an interesting question. Don't know how Tal could have helped him.
He used to be a fae, so I don't know if when you turn into a vampire, you lose your power as a fae.
No, you don't, because Malcolm has that illusion magic.
Oh yeah, and
which
that's fae magic.
Yeah,
basically.
which for me makes me think that, like, when we come to the Boots the Dress the Fox chapter, and we learn about Fisher's ability to have illusions, and we know that is passed down generations. Is Fisher related to Malcolm, like from thousands of years ago? Because he's really, really old. Anyway, I would imagine a lot of people are. A lot of Fae are. Okay, so I really want to talk about the Ajun people. So, the Ajun, again, I'm doing this wrong. The Ajun Fae. Ren is being really sarcastic, and he's like, who cares about the Ajun Fae anyway? They've guarded the gate and prevented untold horrors from spilling into this world for centuries. But so what? What untold horrors? What are they protecting? There's also, we find out there are additional Fae warriors within the city gates, and they cannot abandon their post. They are guarding something so horrific that's what it says, untold horrors from spilling into this world for centuries. But so what? I wonder if they are protecting the rest of the dragons, and the fact they remain there when everyone thinks they're gone is this big secret. Or they're protecting some like magic. The magic, I don't know. What is it? What could it be?
I'm not sure if it's gonna be creatures. That would be cool if they're protecting dragons or even something else. They just Callie Hart just decide to put there in this mix of everything in one place. But it could be kind of like maybe like ancient magic or something that maybe even was related to the vampires, and that's how they start the curse. Or I don't know, something that if it has been used, it can maybe come with other kind of like curse or change in the fate.
Yeah, what if it's the fates? Or the fates are interfering though, aren't they? So they're not trapped, but something's trapped there. And if these Fae warriors leave, that is that they cannot. They are bound to their posts. They physically cannot leave them. And Ren is like, and they've prevented untold horrors from spilling into this world for centuries.
Yeah, or maybe it's one of the gods there's maybe like confined there.
Yeah, I am so desperate to know what's in here. And I wonder if, oh my God, I've got such a good theory, but I can't share it.
Why?
We meet something so horrifying in the first few chapters of Brimstone.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's more of that. Perhaps. It is horrifying. It chilled me when I read the first few chapters of Brimstone. So just like a warning, spoiler-free warning.
Heads up, yeah.
Heads up, yeah. So Ren says to Lloreth, I'd be surprised if you could even talk a bog witch out of her underwear. So they're having this banter, and he's like, I'd be surprised if you could even talk a bog witch. And then Lloreth's like, want that mouth washed out with soap, which is what our parents used to say when we swore as children. I don't think my mum ever said that, to be honest, because she swears worse than me. But and then he's like, I would never, ever. This is Callie making another huge point that Lloreth hates witches. Yeah. This makes me wonder what they have done to him, but it also makes me pretty sure that Lloreth and Ishabel will hook up. Like I'm almost sure of it, because I don't know whether she's just setting this hatred up of witches, so that he can get over that and in with Ishabel, and and they're actually mates. Maybe he knows that they've met before. Maybe he's like, he knows he's mated to her, but he doesn't want to be. So he spent the whole time like dealing with this situation where he's like drawn to something he hates, and he's like pulling and pulling and pulling. And then because he said she doesn't know that she's met, so maybe the mating, she's not aware of the mating thing, because like just like Ceres wasn't, but Kingfisher feels this pull. So perhaps Lloreth feels this pull to Ishabel, and he hates it, and he hates witches for it, and he's like, yeah, I don't know. There's something though, isn't there? She's making another point that he hates witches, as if she hadn't done it enough in the last few chapters of Quicksilver. Yeah.
I wonder if maybe it's something related to before he met Kingfisher, if he was related to the witches, or there was maybe some beef between them, and because the witches, they are like linked to the vampires, that's why he get attacked. Maybe because the witches, he nearly died because they sent the vampires.
Yeah, we do suspect that the vampires were what? Well, we know that vampires attacked him, right?
Well, yeah, he said
Yeah,
two
it's vampires.
vampires and nearly killed him.
Yeah, we think one of them was
There was
Tal.
Fisher, the one who rescued him, given the soul. And maybe Fisher knows something about Lloreth that we don't know, and that's the main reason that he gives us the
Yeah,
soul.
why keep a random person alive?
Yeah.
Well, you just would, wouldn't you? You'd do anything to save somebody.
Yeah, but not give a part of your own life to a completely stranger that you might not see ever again. Because imagine if after he recovered, he would just, thank you, and he just leave college.
Doesn't matter. You've saved somebody's life. You'd be a villain.
No, but preserve my soul for somebody that actually I care about. Imagine if there is one of our children that's dying, and then I can't do anything because I give
Yeah,
more
that's a
of my
great
soul
point. That's a great
to a
point.
random person.
Well, I'd have mine. I wouldn't. I'd have given mine out willy-nilly, wouldn't I? So you're right. You're probably right to do that. Okay, so we also see the dragon as a big shadow. He talks about other dragons. So there was another dragon that he'd fought before, a smaller one, an iridescent blue one. This one was death wreathed in hellfire itself. So this one was bigger and badder than the one he'd fought before.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's so much as a theory anymore, as a like kind of an expectation. But I expect more dragons are hiding. More dragons will be in Brimstone. There's a lot of mention of Brimstone in these two chapters. Brimstone drips from his teeth. It's an old-fashioned word for sulfur. So it's like fire, hell, dragon breath. Like just looking at the map of Ivelia and Roth and the Quicksilver map, there are multiple dragons flying around in the Ajun Sky. Well, there's at least two. I'm saying there's multiple. I can't remember how many there are, but there's multiple.
There's more than one.
Yeah,
definitely.
Which definitely makes it look like they are dragons in the Ajun Sky, and that is why it's called the Ajun Sky. And I kind of do feel like these gates are protecting like the heaven, and the sky is the heaven. I don't know why Kingfisher fought that blue. I don't think anybody does, but I don't think that the dragons are inherently bad. I wonder if we're going to have another situation where we're like, the dragons are good and you think they're bad, and we're actually the bad humans or bad fae.
It's a little bit strange because when he was talking to Amnan Chakra, yes, he was saying that he used to protect the fae people before. That what Malcolm said to him to make a change.
Well, he promised him.
Yeah,
meat.
but obviously they used to work before together, so it can't be that.
Well, it was a deal. It didn't seem like it was working. They were giving him jewels and crystals and gold.
For what? So he can spend in the shop.
Well, hoard it. That's what dragon, like the dragon folklore is that dragons just like to hoard it. It's kind of like the crab god in Moana. It's like, I'll be shiny. And you can imagine Om Chakra in the cave. Yeah. So the gate that secured Ajun, we find out that was imbued by ancient, formidable magic. No fell creature could breach it. In all recorded history, the gate had never been breached. But there was one small problem. The gate only protected the city when it was closed. And right now, the towering iron barricade stood wide fucking open. This is so stupid. So, to do this on a national holiday, when everyone knows it's open, is just asking for trouble. Like, everyone can find out when your bank holidays are. I can't Google it in that time, but you know when there's...
Yeah, but when I was reading this, it reminded me a little bit of the times with COVID when we are not allowed to go anywhere unless there's just something like essential. And people reached the point that they just didn't care. They just want to go out. They just want to try to have a normal life. And then I think maybe here is the same. That even when they know they are vampire, they are trouble, they just want to keep the people happy. But you see what happened in the end.
I know. 5 days and 5 nights. It's quite a long time to keep it open. But Kingfisher does also say that's stupid. Like, it's not... So Callie Hart kind of addresses that fact through Kingfisher's POV. And he's like, well, this is stupid. So... Coming back to your point around the agreement between the Fae and the dragon, it said it was held for over 300 years. But now those, like the people that saw the dragon, like breathing fire all over the mountain, were really, really scared. They had obviously seen that this pact was now broken. They could see the very real possibility that the dragon was going to set fire to the city and they would become trapped. So all hell is breaking loose. The dragon is now attacking the city, or like appears to be threatening the city. He talks to Fisher. He talks to everybody because Ren's like, he can talk. What's this? And he calls Fisher cursed born.
Yes.
What does Omnam Chakrai know about Fisher?
I wonder if he's talking about maybe the wolf thing. That if he can change shape as well, then he consider it like a curse as well.
That's so interesting because I think we're supposed to like just assume it's because of the Quicksilver, and he was born to be sacrificed, and he was born to be like just a martyr.
I mean, so far we know that the parents, they love each other, they were happy together, they love Kingfisher as well when he was a baby, so it doesn't look that he was a baby that it wasn't wanted at the beginning. So
Yeah,
it's not
I think
like
it's
somebody that it shouldn't born.
It's more about his fate, I think. Like the dragon seems to know his fate.
Yeah.
He knows who Kingfisher is. And it's weird. They don't, apparently, Kingfisher says that dragons don't have any inherent magic themselves. So he must have stolen it somehow. And this is, again, like the dragon stealing magic. Like, we talked about this before in another deep dive. And it says that their hearts are hollow black voids. And there's no good that can survive in there. Like, I really don't think that Ceres would feel the same way about dragons. And I've just got this weird nagging feeling that in Brimstone, Ceres will attempt something crazy and prove that there is good in a dragon. And that the dragons will then ultimately end up fighting on Ceres' side.
Oh, she's gonna bond to a golden dragon.
I have a feeling she's going to bond to a dragon. Maybe an iridescent blue one.
Oh, we will see something like kind of similar to Game of Thrones with a queen that is controlling everything with the dragons.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Cool, isn't it? Like, we're definitely going to have more dragons in this one. It's so, like, we're coming back to what I said at the beginning around the things you need to know for Brimstone to make sense. It's got to be the dragons. The thing that the Ajun Sky is protecting or is keeping from being unleashed, I am sure it's dragons. I'm sure it's dragons that the warriors are like keeping in.
Yeah.
I am convincing myself more and more the more that I talk about it today. If you think about going into Brimstone without this chapter, all we had was a skull in Bellacon's throne room. All we had was that. This is the epitome of like, what do they need to know for Brimstone to make sense? There has to be dragons as a big focal point. And I actually wonder if that is where Fisher and Carrion go, because we know from Callie Hart bits of things that Callie shared on Instagram, Carrion and Fisher go off somewhere on their own. Do they go off to essentially convince the dragons and convince the Ajun Fae to free the dragons or something? I don't know. We find out there is a cost to the magic and a balance that you can't use too much. Fisher says that he throws up a shadow wall to prevent the feeders from getting in, the 5,000 feeders, which is just an insane amount. And he says it's too big to sustain for a long time, indefinitely. Also, later, Ren nearly burns himself out, and that is the terminology they use.
Yeah. When
Mirel, his twin sister, is eaten by the dragon, he goes crazy and he like draws in all this magic, and he's about to burn out, and Fisher has to talk him down. So there is a cost, and I read this ages ago, this POV chapter, and we've spent a little bit of quite a long time in the deep dives of Quicksilver, wondering what the cost is. But there is, yeah. And I think, again, this is probably something we needed to know for Brimstone. So I have a slight concern that somebody is going to burn themselves out. Hopefully it'll be Danya.
It's never the bad ones.
In some kind of redemption. She'll like be wanting to protect Fisher. And she'll burn herself out.
You put in your DNA to theory to Danya now.
Yeah, maybe. Right, so we find out Malcolm promised Omnam Chakrai the flesh of 4 out of 5 bodies that don't turn into feeders. Because you kill 5 Fae, 4 of them die, 1 of them turns into a feeder. The other 4 Omnam Chakrai could eat.
Yeah.
What's he eating up until this point? Like sheep, goats? Don't know.
That's what I was talking about before. He was asking for Yule, but then what he was eating then, because it says a dragon has to eat, but what he was eating then.
Yeah, goats and sheep and stuff. It's interesting that dragons think gold is better than silver, which is contrary to what the Fae think, but due to the value it has in defeating vampires. So in any normal world where there's no vampires, and where vampires aren't a threat to you, like a dragon, gold is still worth more than silver.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Right, so we've got to close the gate. The gate has to be closed. Fisher saw Ren get shot, or it was like a minor scratch from an iron-tipped arrow, and it made him really sick, like he nearly died. So after that, Fisher trained himself, like cue Rocky Balboa. Rocky Balboa. Training montage where he's like getting exposure to tiny iron filings and then building and building and building up. But now Fisher is going to go all in and touch the gates.
I don't know how does it works, because it's supposed to be the immense harm, like physical harm to the body. So it's like if I'm trying to touch fire, and then if I just like touching little by little, I'm not going to like build something against fire. I will get burned anyway. So I wonder like exactly how the iron works for him to like build, because in the end he was like his hand was burning, because even Omnan Chakra was saying that he was smelling the flesh burning.
It's just like an age-old thing, isn't it, with Fae? Like every Fae story says that iron is the way that you defeat them, just like silver is
For vampires.
Vampires, or like some stories are a wooden stake through the heart, aren't they?
I think werewolves as well. You defeat them with silver bullets.
Yeah, that's right.
It's always silver.
Yeah, but Fisher can wear silver. Because he wears the silver gorget. It's only vampires. But if it has to specifically be a silver bullet, then that's different.
Yeah, like something to
It's
kill
not
it.
the skin, yeah. I know I'm going all over the place here, but I love this chapter. So just another thing that happens that makes me absolutely certain that there's more dragons is that he's promising Omnam Chakrai 4 out of 5 feeders. 4 out of 5 feeders is just too much for one dragon. He also says, so Omnam Chakrai says, it will sate us. He doesn't say it will sate me.
Yeah.
So that's another tick in the, like, there are way more dragons. But the concerning thing about that is that Omnam Chakrai has access to them and will share the feeders. Another good thing about this chapter is that we learn that Danya wasn't always a piece of shit person. Like, she was okay before. She wants to be helping. She clearly cares about Fisher. They don't see eye to eye on everything. But still, she's not a complete shit like she is now.
Also, it's thanks to Daniel that we start to see more or less how long this happened from the events of the Quicksilver, because Fisher does a reference about her sword. There's something related new, and we know as well that she holds that sword at least for like 400 years, I think. So we're thinking that from this point when it's happening, it's 400 years before Sarah's go to the ground.
Yeah, which is even more amazing when you think about the fact that he's pulled into the Quicksilver and into the God's garden, into Zareth's garden, and he sees Zareth up on the hill, and it's 400-year gap. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So Fisher is touching the gate, and we know that the gate is imbued with foreign magic, ancient foreign magic.
Yeah.
And we learn that the Quicksilver actually protects Fisher from that foreign magic. And I do think we will see this again, possibly in a bad way, though, because we know that Telena and Ishabel have found a way to siphon out the Quicksilver from his blood. I think that could mean that he may not be as protected in the future, and actually we might see the impacts of his vulnerability once the Quicksilver is out of him, because the Quicksilver is ultimately, the main thing is overwhelmingly bad to have that in your body, but it does clearly have some protective features, and will we, like, once that's going, will we see that dwindling? I also think that the foreign here is alluding to gods, because if Quicksilver is related to the gods, it's coming from the tree, you'd think that the type of foreign, quote-unquote, magic that it is protecting you from is linked to the gods somehow. So I think it's actually god magic that it's protecting him from. And that's what's in the gates. He's closing the gates, and the overwhelming feeling when you're reading it is that, like, he could close them from the inside. He could pull them from the inside, because there's this big moral dilemma about how they'll all be stuck on the outside. So he wants all of his Lupo Paralia inside, as many people inside as possible, but there isn't time to get everyone inside because, like you said, the COVID is over. They're like trying to go down the just outside the city gates.
Yeah.
But again, Callie Hart counteracts that, and she does add in the rationale is that he doesn't think that the people outside the gates should remain unprotected. So Kingfisher is really struggling with this, and he falls down to the floor, and Ren basically calls him King Half a Job Fisher, and he goes on about how, like, all right, fine, you're just going to die then. Don't worry. On your headstone, I'll chisel, he tried. So I'm pretty sure we did a game. Didn't we do like a question from the Quicksilver on this? Like, what would you have on your headstone?
Yes, I remember there's one Sarah thought that she's going to die, and they said that he was Sarah's 24 years old.
Yeah.
Something else.
Yeah, we could do a, like, what would be the funniest thing? He tried. Yeah, so he did. He got back up, and Kingfisher did it. It worked. And he didn't do it because he believed he could. He did it because Ren believed he could. And he wasn't going to use his last living moments to let Ren down. And I really love that, because that shows the type of person that Kingfisher is.
Yes, because it's not that he's doing it for himself. He's doing it because there are people that are counting on him. And obviously he doesn't want to let him down.
Yeah. And while Ren's being quite funny about it, Lloreth is so funny. He's like, come on, you lazy fuck. I've seen you push harder for a shit. I can't even say it without laughing. That is like peak Callie Hart, right?
Yeah, that's just amazing.
The boys, our children, heard me laughing when I was reading that to prep for this episode. So I had to kind of edit that. I was like...
Why are you laughing, Mommy? What's so funny?
I had to edit the languages and still explain it. And they also found it very funny. So anyway, he's transported to the garden. Bal and Mithin give him a sword, and we find out he's visited them before.
Yeah, this is the third time, isn't it?
I know, and there's still this timeline issue where he said there'd been the first occasion when I was just a boy and Belicon sent me into the Quicksilver without a relic. I think that is before. I think he was 5 at that point, I think. Or like earlier than 10, because that has to be before.
Before he went to live with him, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's before. I think it has to be, because the Quicksilver would have been locked down. There would have been no way of him getting through. And also, that would be the trigger for Adina to get a relic and get it imbued with magic. And like with witch magic.
Do we know what age was him when he went through the Quicksilver? Because I don't know why I highlight the number 6 in
Yeah,
my
5
head.
or 6. I think so. But it has to be then, and it has to be before the gates were closed, and it has to be the kind of stimulus.
Yeah, because by the time the gate were closed, he should be like 10 or 11. That's when...
Yeah.
Should be 10, because it's when his father went there. And then a year later is when they moved to the Winter Palace.
Yeah. Then there had been the time 3 centuries ago when the god of chaos had approached me with a proposition.
Mm-hmm.
That is when the Quicksilver gates were closed. So that shouldn't have happened. But obviously, this was God. So gods can intervene.
I think it happened exactly the same that right now. Because it has Quicksilver inside, the gods can use that little Quicksilver to expand it and then make him go through all of that.
Yeah, they can do what they want, can't they? They're gods. I just love the crossover in timeline. So he's there and he sees Lloreth. He can't really see her, but he feels a tug and he can feel that she's in pain and he's desperate to get up there. But Bal and Mithrin are like, no, don't worry about that. That's the future. Don't worry about that. I just love this. I think it's really, really cool.
Definitely unexpected. When you see when you start to realize that in the other side is Sarah's having the conversation.
Yeah.
The god of chaos.
So Bal and Mithrin give him the god's sword. And they say it's waited millennia for you. And also, he says it feels like part of his soul that was missing since he was born has finally found its way back to him. So this sword is like legitimately his, not like Danya, where it's just dad's died, passed on the sword. One theory I've talked about loads is that he is a god, possibly reincarnated. Like, I don't know. The fact that it's waited millennia for him, I think he's destined to be a god. Like, and it's part of his soul that's missing. It's a god sword. Is this not just another massive hint that Kingfisher is in fact either already a reincarnated god or he will be eventually?
So maybe everything that we live in at the moment is kind of like a test from the gods to see if he is worth it or just
like
to help him
Hercules.
to get,
Memoirs of Luzbel. She loved him. She lost him. And he came back. But wasn't completely him. She feared him. She fought him. But she fell for him. Memoirs of Luzbel. Now available on Amazon.
So,
Okay, now moving on to the gate part 2.
title review. Well,
So this is the second part of the gate part 1,
yeah.
in case it's not being clear.
Not much more to say there. I am a little bit disappointed by the chapter titles.
Yes, not like that much tea there, isn't it?
Yeah, and I just love the chapter titles in Quicksilver because there's always second meanings. There's absolutely none to these. Anyway, unless I'm taking it a little bit too literally. But the gate part 1, the gate part 2. Anyway, the chapter opens with Kingfisher saying that he doesn't want to live forever. He doesn't care about living forever. And he's like, there's definitely avenues that people could go down if they wanted to live forever. So he's thinking about vampires here. But I think he's going to live forever. I think he's going to be immortal, whether he likes it or not. And he does want to be now, I think, because if Ceres is immortal, he also will want to be immortal. He's got something to live for now.
Yes, but it's maybe like a fate thing, because I think that was the main reason for Malcolm as well, to be a vampire, because he wants to live forever. I don't know if they will find out there's maybe a way to turn into a god as well. They call themselves they are gods, but why make
they
a
are
god?
gods.
It's just because you can't die, or the power they have as well?
Yeah, I just think they are gods. I think they're either gods' champions and they're getting that grander, that illusion of grandeur that comes with that.
I wonder what is going to happen next, because there are like legends from the Greek mythology. There was maybe like a fruit that if you take that fruit, you turn into a god. So I wonder if maybe in this Fae folklore there would be something like this. You turn into a god or you become a god if you do this or if you get this.
Yeah, that's interesting. And that's similar to like the fruit of knowledge, isn't it? And the god, although you're not supposed to have it, but maybe that the fact that you get the wisdom of the gods is like makes you a god.
Yeah.
So interesting how it's all linked. So there isn't a truly unique story, is there?
It's probably one story. They start to spray around different cultures and tell in different ways.
Yeah, like the game Telephone, where slight details change.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So he also describes being turned into a vampire as floating in the mind, which is exactly what Ceres does, isn't it? She like floats and then she sees the bird and then she becomes the half fae, half vampire. But what I wasn't sure if that was like her passage back from the immortal realm to the fae realm, not mortal realm, but the fae realm. And actually now we have confirmation that that's purely because she turned into a vampire, which is interesting. And I thought Fisher, this bit about Fisher was really, really funny because he's like, I already had big plans for my death and this wasn't going to be it. I was going to be like in a soft bed with a good book, just finished at my bedside. Like, what? That doesn't sound like Fisher at all. Fisher would want to be like dying in battle.
Yeah.
Exactly as he is, like fighting a dragon with his wolves at his side. But no, apparently he's a reader. Apparently he likes a good book.
Yeah, I was wondering as well, like, what Fisher will consider a good book. They're like, yeah, after this
one.
I can die.
yeah. What is
I can
a
die
good book?
peacefully now.
He should read Fourth Wing. Or he should read... Oh, no, because maybe he'd just be... He would probably hate Zayden.
Yeah.
That's so funny. He'd be like, who is this budget Kingfisher? Who is this budget me?
Shadow Daddy.
And then he's like, wait, I want a dragon. Dragons are supposed to be killed, not ridden. It's so funny. What do you think you would think is a good book?
I think if we're talking about Kingfisher, it's not going to be fantasy or it's not going to be something like this. I think it's going to be more about, I don't know, knowledge or something about culture.
Self-improvement. No, he doesn't believe he needs to improve.
How to be wealthy. No, I think it's more about knowledge, compassion, like just expand your soul, like something that make you grow as a person.
I think he likes a romance. The spicier
Spicy
the better. The spicier the better. Yeah. This is my favorite thing we've learned about Kingfisher, though. He's a reader. In a different time, he'd have been all over Book Top. Right, so this is where we learn a bit more about Ajun. And I don't know if you can tell by now, but I'm obsessed with this place. Like, I really hope Ceres goes, and I think she will. Do you remember when I went to see Callie Hart and she was talking about there's types of people and we would get to meet them in the next book and we might have just read past them and thought nothing of it. Orithian knights, these are the warriors that are in the city of Ajun. They were sworn to a higher purpose and would never abandon their posts, not even for this. We're totally getting to meet them in Brimstone. What is the higher purpose? Protecting the dragons.
So weird.
It's not weird, it's so exciting.
Yeah, but you really think that it's just dragons that maybe they're in cages or something? Like physically dragons?
No, I don't think they're in cages. I think they're trapped in magic. They're hidden because they're like...
That maybe they're like in a box, like kind of like a Pokemon style. If you open the box...
Go, Pikachu, go. Is that what they say?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dragon Chew, I chose you.
No, it's... I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I think it's dragons.
Definitely we will see more dragons. I mean, it's in the map. There's more than one dragon there. That's first clue.
And why would they be there? They'd be protected. A higher purpose. Like, Callie Hart is the queen of double meanings. Higher up in the air. Dragons fly. This is the hill I'm dying on.
Yeah.
Right, Mirelle is one of the Lupa Proelia.
Yes.
Maybe she's not.
She is.
She is.
Yeah. That is one of the things that she said when she put the soul in the soul. That way she can keep being part of the Lupa Proelia.
Oh, yeah. We've known her for less than 5 minutes reading these chapters. Well, it's more than that. Less than half an hour reading these chapters. And her death is so emotional. Like, it's really sad. She's protecting a child.
Probably the child was better without her.
Yeah, she doesn't protect the child.
Like a bigger target for the dragon.
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh. So, the cost of taking too much magic, which is what happens to Renfis now, it doesn't happen, but it nearly happens to Renfis now, is that your body will remain, but your soul will die.
I didn't understand that properly. So the body's still alive, but without a soul, or you just die and
You don't
your
have a
as
soul.
well?
Your soul burns out, but you have a body. So I don't know what that means. I don't know. I kind of saw that as like not becoming a dementor, like what a person becomes if a dementor gives them a kiss.
I didn't know if maybe you die, so body die without soul, or if your body is still there, alive, but then
You can't do anything. So I feel like your body and your brain would still work. I just feel like you wouldn't be yourself anymore. You'd be like kind of aimlessly wandering around, like with no purpose, with no soul, like with no care. Like you don't. Although Malcolm does say, "I don't have a soul, girl," doesn't he?
yeah, well,
I
he's a
wonder
bad
if-
guy.
Yeah. Can he? So he can just like burn out because he's got no soul anyway. Interesting. Right. Another interesting thing. Coryx. Coryx, one of the Lupoporelia, is in fact a dragon expert. Coryx has the most experience with dragonkind out of all of the Lupoporelia. They were once responsible for training to handle them, back when it was still believed the beasts could be brought to heal. So there was a time where people were trying to control the dragons.
Yeah, so they were like the hiccups
Hiccups, yes.
from How to Train Your Dragon.
Yes, they were. Coryx says most large drakes would be able to disgorge twice before they needed to refill their fire chambers, but this thing isn't just large, it's a monster. So Coryx knows how much fire is needed, and they say it's going to have to take a break. And Danya's like, "Ooh, there's a nice spot over there." My theory about Coryx, because Coryx does not die on the page here. So we know that either Coryx died, and Coryx doesn't appear in Quicksilver.
Yeah.
So either Coryx died sometime between the 400 years ago that this happened and the time that Quicksilver is set, or Coryx is still alive. And I'm going to just build on my theory that the knights are protecting dragons and say that Coryx is also stationed at the Ajun Gate.
Yeah,
Because
they're training the dragons.
They are a dragon expert. So I think Coryx is still alive, and I think we will meet Coryx again in Brimstone.
That's really interesting. We don't know what happened if after Fisher was in the maze in those 110 years, something happened to the full Lupoporelia, or if more stuff happened even before that. Because definitely there's no reference about any of them, because we know there was a few from the Lupoporelia, but in Quicksilver, it's just the one that are there. And we don't know if it's just because they're still loyal to Fisher when he disappeared for no reason, apparently for them, or if something happened way before and they just not coming back. But yeah, Fisher is not saying that we need to find the other one, so no mentions at all.
Yeah, so either something happened or he knows exactly where they are. And I think that Coryx is at the Ajun Gate. So Ren sent a charge of energy down, but it did nothing to Omnam Shakrai. Fisher says that's weird. Like, normally that would have done something, and the dragon must have been blocking it somehow. That shouldn't be possible, though, because a dragon does not have any innate magic. So my theory is that the dragon is stealing magic somehow. And I think, again, this is something we're going to have to learn more about. The other option that we talked about earlier, like, I do think that the warriors are protecting the dragons, or keeping the dragons locked up, because it does say that Kingfisher said that that was when we thought dragons could be tamed. So to your point around are the dragons just being kept in cages? Yeah, maybe, because they can't be tamed and they can't be killed either. So while we don't get confirmation that Foley is dead, it does seem like he is, and I'm erring on the I think he's dead. He gets lashed and thrown from the back of the dragon. I think he's trying to do something. And he gets flung off the dragon, and they say he's gone. Fisher doesn't have time to mourn him, but he's like, I'll mourn him later. He's gone. He goes inside the dragon's mouth. I mean, this is really dramatic, but to in a nutshell, he gets inside Om-Nam Shakrai's mouth, stabs the Nimmerel, the new god sword that he's been given by Bal and Mithin, and he gets stuck in there so he kills the dragon, crash down to the ground. He gets stuck in there for hours. He's just like, oh, tum, what am I going to do? Because I need to be rescued.
There's no good book in this place. Damn it.
But why doesn't he just cut his way out? He's got the god sword. It's so bonkers to me that he can't.
No, I think it's because he was already burnt out about
he's tired
before of that.
He's having a break.
So yeah, he said he can't move anymore.
Okay.
He's just going to stay there until somebody does something. But I thought that this is gonna be another Hercules from Disney style. The Hydra eat the Hercules, and the Hercules from inside just chop the head.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, but then he wouldn't have been stuck inside the mouth.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have had chance for Mirel's ghost to come back, because Mirel is not able to now pass on, because she has given part of her soul to the sword. And that is why it is the only one that manages to keep its power. That is why I believe he leaves it behind in Ballard, because he does not want Malcolm to be in possession of Nimmerel's soul. Of Mirel's soul. Not just because he doesn't want Malcolm to have the sword, but it's because he cares so much about the sword, because it houses part of Mirel's soul. It's clear that they had a brother and sister relationship, but there's some regret there between the two of them that they never made it more.
Yeah. I wonder how it's going to work, because normally when you give your soul to somebody, when this somebody dies, you have your soul back. But it's a sword, so Fisher has to die for this soul to be released from the sword, because it's not having any purpose for the owner anymore, or the soul has to be broken somehow, and then if it's broken, the soul is released.
Yeah, or maybe that's why he was so upset about it. I didn't get this, did I? I was saying to you yesterday, what does it matter? Why does it matter? And you were like, well, because she now can't pass on. So now, and I totally... But it doesn't say that on the page, but I think you're right. I don't think she can pass on. I think the sword will be the sword forever until it's destroyed, and maybe unless it's destroyed, and then the soul can go back to her and she can pass on. And maybe that's what we'll see. Maybe we'll see something like that. But the one really, really important bit of information that she passes on is that she has spoken with his mother. His mother is there. So his mother is definitely dead.
Mm-hmm.
There's one thing. Or... she is not definitely dead, and she is also floating around because part of her soul is stuck somewhere else.
Well, we said from the beginning that, yes, Edina died because Belicon killed her, but the soul went to Onyx somehow. That's what we're talking about, the spirit or something. So, yeah, this is no destroying.
Yeah, I also think I think it also shows that, because I do genuinely, I really think that it was Fisher's mum that gave her soul to Finran, to Fisher's dad. Mm-hmm. And that is why, part of her soul is still wandering around. I think that shows, that our theory that Finran is still alive in Silvarin, potentially Elroy, stacks up, because she wouldn't be able to move on until that point. And I do think these are all the receipts to show that, one, Kingfisher's mum was the one that gave her soul to Kingfisher's dad. 2, Kingfisher's dad is still alive, so that his mum's spirit is still there. Yeah. And 3, the spirit could be in the fox.
Yeah, I think this is the proof that Edina is not in the other side, like in paradise or heaven. She's stuck, and that's
Yeah,
why.
just where sorry, I keep going. Just where Morel is.
Yes.
Cool. I think we've got it. Okay, that's the end of the chapter, and then we're gonna go whooshing 400 years into the future.
Back to the Quicksilver story.
Back to the future.
Yes. And we're going to start with this third Kingfisher point of view, the fox, the boots, and the dress.
Title review. Well, it pretty much just does everything that it says. The fox, the boots, the dress.
For me, everything pointed out Kingfisher mom, because the fox is one of the first things that appears in this chapter. We think that Edina isn't that fox. He's going to get the boots for Carrion, and those boots are where her mom has all the stuff. He found the dress that was for Sarah's, that was made specifically for her. There's as well like a gift from Edina. So everything here is just Edina, Kingfisher.
I know. And this is where I was totally convinced that Onyx is somehow linked to Fisher's mum. And obviously we've been ticking these things off, like the way that Onyx is in Ballard, and yeah, there's something, isn't there?
Yes. So, yes, we start this chapter as Kingfisher complain about the fox is following her everywhere. Even he says to the fox, she doesn't even know where you are, did she? The fox is just happy following Fisher. And I don't know if it's because maybe at this point the fox knows where he's going and then he's just follow. Maybe going to the chamber of the parents, and the fox knows, and he go there to give him a subtle hand at some point. But it's something strange, I think, and it's still like pointed out everything to Edina, even when the fox is a male. I don't know if
I think it's a red herring.
Yeah.
I think it's there to throw us off.
But after he found the boots that he was looking for, Carrion. So he sees this dress, and he knows that dress doesn't look like something that her mom will wear it. And then he hears this voice inside and said that it's for her, my love. And here I had to be like Professor Quirrell in Harry Potter, like, what's this magic? Because is it the dress that maybe is projecting maybe the thoughts or the voice from the mind to Kingfisher's mind? Or is it the fox that is right next to him, like speaking mind to mind? Because I don't think it's coming from Kingfisher.
It's the fox. It's the fox, or it's her spirit somehow. I totally agree with you. Like, it's got to be, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And I believe that in the next book, Elroy is going to meet Onyx, and this is where it's going to be like.
Yeah.
It's them. Yeah, I feel like it would be weird for us to review this book and not draw a bit of a parallel to another book that has a very, very similar situation where the mother leaves some dresses for the future mate. There is a very, very, very similar concept in Akatar.
Okay.
This is just one dress, though, so I don't know. That is a spoiler-free. It's not really a spoiler. And most people have read Akatar at this point, but if you haven't, there is a similar situation in that where the mum knows. But I think it's the fox. I think it's Onyx.
Yes, definitely Fisher got really affected about this because I think at this moment he actually can hear the voice of the man, and then he says, no, I'm not going there, fucking never. He closed the wardrobe, and that's when the fox goes stuck there, and it's when we know the fox was there with him.
Yeah.
I think either it's the fox speaking to him, like man to man, or there's some kind of magic in the dress that is maybe like once Fisher sees this dress, you need to tell her that it's for Sarah's.
Yeah, and you know what the weirdest thing is? Like, Ceres names the fox Onyx.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, and then the last chapter, the last POV chapter we had was Edina speaking through Morel, saying you must protect your name is really important. I wonder if his name is Onyx. I wonder if Kingfisher's real name is Onyx.
Yeah. That would be strange if she called it Onyx and Kingfisher inside. Shit, that's my name.
Yeah. Like what? Anyway.
So Fisher get the boots, goes to find Carrion, and he gives the boots to Carrion. He says they just with one condition, that he needs to take a very long bath and lose at least 4 layers of skin. And the funny part about this is when Carrion, you know how he is with Fisher, and he's just kind of like laughing at him a little bit. Fisher actually is thinking here that he will like considering to kill him if he's wondering if Cyrus will notice if he just threw him out of the cliff. Yes.
They wouldn't have been able to defeat Malcolm.
Yes.
This is like the what if situation. You're like, what if Kingfisher had killed Carrion at this point?
Yeah, that would be like a nice section to have.
Yeah.
What if? But yeah, Fisher, we found out that he has the magic is from his father about the shadows.
There is a bit of a slight discrepancy. There is a slight discrepancy, isn't there? Because the audio book says it gets the
shadows from
shadows
the father.
from the father. The written one says he gets the shadows from his mother.
Yes.
So we don't actually know.
Yes, it's strange because we know that there's been some discrepancies between the first edition and then the after the way being published. Here, I don't know if it's gonna be relevant, if it's coming from the mom or from the dad. I mean, shadows. The thing is that he has these illusions that I still don't get, like how
So
exactly
does
works.
Malcolm.
Yes. And also he said that he had like something inside, something for himself, and he doesn't say exactly what it is. So what does it mean? That he had like 3 powers here. And if is this normal or is this
No, it
Fisher's?
won't be normal, will it?
Because so far we think that if your parents have powers, you might get one of
One or
each.
both.
Yes. But here, he's like, he had 3.
Yeah.
So it's a hint of something, definitely.
Yeah. It could be to do with the runes. Could be that the runes on his skin give him power.
Yes. I still thinking that illusion is not the right word for this. Because for me, an illusion is something that you can't touch. It's something that is not real. It's something that's fake. But we see that the illusion that Malcolm does, that is a real thing. Like the maze. If it's an illusion, you can just go through all of that. It won't be real. But this is something that actually it takes form, it takes shape.
And it's the same as the bathtub. Like he creates a bathtub for Ceres. And
Yeah,
it's real.
Yeah.
And she's still not stinking when she comes out because it's all an illusion. Oh, you didn't have a shower because it was an illusion.
Yeah. That's what I think, that it shouldn't be called illusion.
If you could give us a new room in the house, what would it be?
Definitely a studio.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. So we don't have to set up all this shit before we record.
Yeah, that's really painful. People don't see that. They don't need to know. But yeah, it's a pain.
This is
every
our
time
genuine
we do that.
living room. Like we do use this as a living room with 2 small kids.
Yes. Anyway, so in this room, after Fisher takes Carrion to take a bath with the sirens. Sirens or water spring?
Water sprites.
Water sprites, yeah. So after Fisher takes Carrion to the water sprite, so he has a good bath, Cyrus enters to the room looking for a bath. And then here is when he does this illusion, and then Cyrus starts to take off the clothes, and Fisher sees Cyrus half naked.
Yeah, but he's like, I'm not looking. I'm not going to see
Yeah,
her like this. Very respectful.
Such a nice guy, isn't it? But the first thing that caught his attention, not was that she was naked, is that she was really slim.
Yeah, he's like, gotta fatten her up. Gotta give her some food.
Yes.
This is like green flag after green flag after green flag. After being so red flag the entire half of the book.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. And he's like, I will make her hate me.
Yeah.
Even though I'm going to feed her in the process.
It's kind of like a Colombian tradition with a pig. You first make it a little
No,
flesh. and then
no,
you eat it.
don't. Oh, you're gross. You're
I'm
red
gonna-
flag.
I'm gonna make sure that she has some flesh.
You're a red flag. Which explains why.
But it's exactly what he does. He first feed her, and after that,
He doesn't.
no, eat her. Like
No, yeah.
Literally
All right,
dead.
all right. You are the worst. All right.
yeah,
Anyway, he just wants to care for her in
Yeah.
more ways than one.
yes. But he said as well that he needs to make sure that she's gonna be physically fine, and also he needs to make sure that there's not gonna be any feelings attached to them because she is not safe with him there. So I need to make sure that he's gonna be a pig. Talking about pigs.
I know, but he gives himself a bit of a pep talk. He's like, I can do this, even though he's gonna find it really hard.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to ask whether you think this dress will come back. I am sure she will wear this dress again.
Maybe for coronation, like something special when she turned into the queen of
That's a
Sanorath.
really good point. I don't know if she's wearing that. That's very interesting.
Because she doesn't have that many dresses. I mean, Kingfisher can just create something for her, but for how long?
Wouldn't it be really wouldn't it be really risky? Like, especially in Sanorath, if he's creating an illusion of a dress and then he dies. It's just like, oh, I've lost my mate and I've lost my dress.
No, but the body, he said that it will last there until she
Doesn't need it anymore.
Yeah, so I don't know if he creates a dress for her. It's going to be there until
I don't know.
she take it off, and then you don't need to wash it. It
Yeah,
just
it's
disappears. That would be ideal for our bedroom. There won't be any clothes on the floor. It will be just...
There isn't any clothes on the floor. I tidied them all.
Anyway, last chapter.
I'm just saying.
The Maze.
The Maze. I love this one. This is the newest one. We only got it. Well, in America, they got it sooner because it was attached to the Kindle version. In the UK, we had to go and buy, not that we wouldn't have done anyway, the Waterstone, like the Waterstones exclusive edition, I believe. Or at least any new published version of the new cover. This one here, if you can see it on YouTube. You can see us on YouTube, by the way. And it's my favorite. It's my favorite Kingfisher POV because we get a little bit more time with Tal.
Yes.
It changed our opinion of him. And again, sorry, I will let you speak in a minute.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
And again, these are the things we need to know going into Brimstone. So we're going to get an awful lot more time with Tal.
Yes. This is something really interesting, these chapters, because, yes, we see this relationship between Fisher and Tal, but we get some information that I wasn't expecting, because in the first lines of this chapter, Fisher said that he and Tal grew up together. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, so this maybe start to fit this theory that we have about yes, they were like brothers, because maybe Malcolm and Bellicon, they were like really good friends, and Tal was in the side of Malcolm, Bellicon was in the side with maybe kind of like not friends but close to Fisher's dad for some reason before the king was overthrown, because we're talking about thousands of years ago.
I don't think it's that. I think Fisher and Tal knew each other before Tal was bitten. I think they grew up together before Malcolm was even a thing. So before Malcolm was hanging around.
Yeah.
I think Tal was possibly in Ballard, maybe, or like a childhood friend of Kingfisher that wasn't a vampire. So they knew each other before everything went bad, like before Kingfisher had Quicksilver inside him before Tal became a vampire. I think we're talking about grew up together when they were like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not 100, 200.
Yeah, totally agree.
And he knows he's still in there. That's why he's friends with him. Although they're friends, but he's not like unwilling to hurt him.
Yes, but we start this scene with Fisher is in a massive pile of coins, silver coins, and he is just flicking every single one of them with the hope that he will find the one that he was looking for from Bellicon. And the weird thing for me here from Fisher is that he said that he had flicked every single coin at least a dozen times, and he knew the coin wasn't there. So why he's still there counting?
Well, where else is he going to go?
No, but why he never crossed his mind, that coin is not here. I need to go somewhere else to find it because this is just an illusion. This is a trap.
Yeah, and why didn't the Quicksilver tell him?
Quicksilver is not something that you can rely too much because it's crazy all the time, all the stuff they're saying. But I think if you are like, okay, the logical explanation is all this is just a waste of time, it's a trap, it's fake. The coin is not here.
It's like he's giving up, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like quiet quitting his role as brooding victim.
Yeah. For me, the logical thing will be for him to think, okay, if it's not here, where is it? Is he even in this maze? If he's, I don't know, is he's
I'm surprised he
lying
didn't kill
to me?
he did kill the demon.
Yeah, he called it a lot of times.
And it just respawns.
Yes.
I love the word respawn as well because that's like a game. It's a gaming term.
Yes.
It's like out of space, like out of place in this book. But anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, I find it weird because I think I will start to think, okay, I need to maybe look into, I don't know, bricks, the floor, next to that demon, and the other side because the coin is not here. So I won't just keep wasting time. If you did it already a dozen times, why you make you think that if you do one more time, it will change?
He's got nothing else to do. He's just... But yeah, I get it. It's not very Kingfisher, is it? You'd think he would have like scoured every inch of the maze, not just the centre.
Yeah, exactly.
I get ya.
Tal is not talking to Fisher at this point because after such a long time, he learned that he doesn't talk to Fisher when he's busy. That when Fisher starts to talk to him, then is when they can have a conversation. And Fisher then starts to ask him to tell me something interesting about the world because only the portraits that he paint about the outside world given like a color that place doesn't have. And I don't know if I take it like literally, he's painting like portraits because Fisher is putting really emphasis in those colors. Is like the only color that I can see in this place that's all black. It's all just, gothic. So I was thinking, okay, if it's literally portraits, then maybe start when he's bored, he's just with a, with a canvas and then it's just painting like the outside so Fisher can see what it looks like from outside. Is this maybe a connection with Edina about painting and that's how we start this connection with Tal and the family?
Maybe, could be. Maybe Edina taught him how to paint. But the other thing that made me think is those portraits in his room that he's destroyed. Did he destroy them? Did Tal make them? Did Tal paint them?
Oh, could be maybe Tal was given like some foreshadowing, people, creatures, or stuff.
When did he destroy them? Did he destroy them before? Or did we notice they were destroyed before or after Tal took Evelyn? I was going to say, because it could have been like a rage, just been like Tal.
Maybe it was a portrait or Tal and Fisher in a selfie portrait.
Yeah. Oh, there's something though. I like that link.
Other thing that was interesting when they were having the conversation is the Taladeos mentioned the name of Sabina, and apparently this caused issue between Tal and Fisher as well. So I'm definitely thinking that we will see this Sabina and Brimstone, but I wonder as well what kind of issues caused between these two, because it's in the sun name that he shouldn't mention in front. It's in the first 3 chapters. What do you say?
So I would say that this is exactly one of those points that we talked about at the beginning of the episode, where you need to have read these chapters to understand Brimstone, and this is one of them.
Okay, so
I think we will learn a lot about Zovina.
so after all this conversation with Taladeus has to return, do his vampire stuff. Fisher stay there.
His tasks, vampire tasks.
And then everything starts to crack. There's a Quicksilver pool there, and Fisher just goes straight away there because something is calling for him. We thought at the beginning it was maybe the soul, but no, we found out later on here that it was Sarah's, the responsible of this. But then when he found Sarah's, she is like dying. And he is like maybe thinking there's nothing that he can do for her right now. There's something maybe more important. There's just find Madra and kill the responsible of everything that happened to his father. But when he's leaving Sarah's dead, he starts to feel again that call. And when he realized it wasn't the soul calling for him, it was her. And then he started to change plan. It's like, no, I can't go after Madra, even when might be the only chance that I have. And it's when he started to say that it's pathetic. And at the beginning, we used to think that it's just calling pathetic to Sarah that he was dying dead. But no, it was calling himself pathetic because he couldn't just leave her there dying.
Yeah, it's so good to get this perspective from him, because you learn quite, like, in Ceres's perspective, you just get the part where she thinks that he thinks she's weak and a human, and it completely flips it, doesn't it, when it's around him.
Yes, and it's just that, because he said yes, it's pathetic, but also it's the fact that he feels this winds of obsolete in his belly. That's what he says. So
yeah, we also get the bit around Harren as well, don't we? Where it's confirmation that he's talking about the maze and that he's going there.
And here's when he just takes her and said, "If you die, I'm gonna be really cross with you." And we know how it ends.
Yes. I wonder if we will get any more Kingfisher POV chapters. Maybe we will have one attached to Brimstone. Maybe I know that we'll get a Carrion POV chapter in the Lilac Library UK edition of Quicksilver, but that won't be until like February or March time. I think it's February. Do you think there'll be any more Kingfisher POV chapters? If there aren't, which ones would you have wished that we could have had?
I definitely think there will be more Kingfisher point of view. Probably, hopefully, we'll have some Sarah's as well. But
No, in Brimstone it's 60-40, like split, or 50-50 split, something similar.
Yeah, but it would be good to have like other, like out of the story, like just as a bonus or content, extra content from the series. It would be good to find like Sarah's point of view as well from, I don't know, moments that we saw already what she was thinking or after. But yeah, I think I would like to find out a little bit more about Fisher's family. So something more related to Callie, because I think Callie has a lot of secrets. Like the tree that's outside.
Yeah.
His
The dead tree.
grandfather, his grandfather, well, like the great-great-grandfather, that he feel some resentment against him.
Yeah, and there's a brother, so that he had a brother and they fell out, and there's some bad blood in the history of Fisher's family tree.
Yes, but maybe we will see this through the regular story.
Yeah, I would like, just because it's my favourite chapter in the whole book, I would like Kingfisher's POV when they go to Ballard at the festival, and when he sees Wendy, and because I think he'll be like a little bit embarrassed. I think it would be, and he's like in his safe space, although he misses his mum. So and then obviously we have the like nightmare time. I would really like to have his POV from Ballard. It's just my favourite place. I just love it. I just imagine it like a bit like Hogsmeade, a bit like
a really nice and cozy place.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, Adina's sketchbook. This is the part of the show where we channel our inner eye, as Mummy Kingfisher would, and put our oracle skills to the test in the hope that we get at least something right for Brimstone. What is your favourite theory from the week? We have had so many.
I would say that voice that Fisher heard about her mom is not just because he missed his mom. There was actually a voice there. I'm not sure if it's gonna be because the dress has some magic, and then when Fisher is in front looking at the dress, it's gonna project the message, or is the fox mentally talking to Fisher? Because we know there's some kind of communication mentally, the one that Fisher has with Sarah's, and it's because of the bond. But I don't know if maybe if you have family like mom and you have like a really special bond, you have some kind of connection as well. So maybe the fox is projecting the voice to Fisher's head.
I think it's the spirit in the fox. I totally love the conversation with Morel, because I like totally think that's confirmation that her spirit is still there. My favourite theory from this week is that Corix, the dragon expert, is still alive and is working with the Orithian knights that are essentially the Ajun Fae warriors that are bound to protect this thing, and that thing is dragons. And I know I've strung three things together there, but I do think that we will
One of them will be real.
We will see Corix in Brimstone, and I can say that we don't see Corix in the first few chapters that I have read. So we will see Corix in Brimstone, and Corix is working with the dragons. So sticking with the theme of precognition, let's have a quick recap of what we're going to do next week. We're officially wrapping up our coverage of Quicksilver just in time for Brimstone. We will be turning the pages of Adina's sketchbook and running through all of our favourite theories from this season's deep dive, locking in our theories in the hope that we get at least something right for Brimstone. We just wrap up last week's questions from the Quicksilver, but we're not going to do a new question this week, because we want to focus completely on our theories and locking those in for Brimstone. So, as a final reminder, this is the part of the show where we listen hard to the ethereal whispers of the Quicksilver and dig deep into our souls for the answer. Last week, Ceres is now half fae, half vamp. If you could be half of two mythical creatures, what would you choose?
I don't know how could I be like a half dragon. Would be cool, but I don't know if I can be like a dragon shapeshifter or just a fae. I would like to be like have the shadows, power, or portals, that kind of stuff. That would be cool. So I don't know if I could be just fae, just with that.
Half dragon, half fae.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, that's cool. So I have always really liked the idea of being a witch. That's like quite, I don't know, like quite a wild witch, especially like Ishabel.
I mean, you're ginger, so that's a good start.
A witch is ginger.
Isabel is.
Yeah. Yeah, she is. She's like Meredith from Brave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quite like, obviously, the witch wizards, like, having, if I could go to Hogwarts, that would be ideal. So maybe half fae, half witch. And I know that's like a tame one and not that exciting. But I also have always really liked the elven people from, or the elven folk from stories. Yeah, especially thinking about like Rivendell in Lord of the Rings and like where the elves live. That is cool. Like Legolas type elves. Not like the bloody elves on the shelf. Not Santa's elves. I'm making toys for a living.
Yeah.
I don't even think they get paid. Or like the house elves. No, not talking about that. But yeah, that kind of thing. And also, I did just do an ARC read of a book that I am so excited eventually will be published. Well, it's not even an ARC read, it was a beta reader. Like, it was a very early draft. Read the first draft. And there are elven folk in that that live in a forest, and they're really cool. And because I waffled on so much with that answer, that's all we've got time for this week. So don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Faithfully Fantasy Pod. Also, come and check us out on YouTube. We are definitely going to start doing a bit more of a different thing on YouTube. So please come and subscribe. We'd love to hear your thoughts, theories and questions and comments. on any of our platforms, so come and say hello.
And with this, we have just one more thing to say. Thank you for listening to Faithfully Fantasy,
The husband and wife podcast talking all things Quicksilver.
We'll see you next week for our special episode where we will summarize all our Quicksilver theories and, of course, for more Faithfully Fantasy.
Bye!